back with another Mother's Day card. Hi guys. Um, I I don't use this piece that I'm doing now, that I'm showing now. That's Paradise Teal. It's too light. I didn't want it that light, and I didn't think what I was going to do with it later on would show up as good. So I cut it out, but then I realised it wasn't going to work. So um, that die is from a clearly besotted set, which I show soon. And so now I'm using the French Ultramarine. I think it's French Ultramarine. Because I think that was darker than and I needed it darker. I thought I needed it darker anyway. Yeah, French Ultramarine. That took a while. Okay, so what I'm doing is some messy heat embossing. So this is a KaiserCraft background stamp. Love their little background stamps like this. They're awesome for cards. So inking it up with clear embossing ink. And stamping it down on my card front. I'm using the Fiskars stamping tool there. It's old. I think I have two of them. One's a quite a bigger one. Now you wonder why I'm going to do white embossing on a white card. Well, you'll see later on. Yeah, made a bit of a mess there. But anyway, heat embossing it now. I should use my glass mat a lot more than I do. Alright, so I'm going to ink this same background stamp down over this ultramarine, French ultramarine archival ink. And then I'm going to put the white embossing powder over it, heat set it, and I'm going to cut it out with that same butterfly die. Yeah, I thought the ink might have been a bit too wet there, but it wasn't too bad. So I'm now trying to position it where the butterfly is on that background stamp and cutting it out there. Okay, and that's it there. Alright, now this stamp, this butterfly stamp, I bought it, it was one of my first stamps that I bought, and it was wood mounted way back then. And I have since unmounted it. And I'm glad I did. And so I inked that up using the French Ultramarine as well, and just off stamping it on the card there. Yeah, I've gone for my really old stamps here. I've used three wood-mounted stamps. So this one's from Stamp It. I think it's an Australian company. And again using the French Ultramarine to stamp it there. Okay. Yes. Now, yep, that's where the butterfly's going. So, now we're going to use the Distress Oxide inks. And I'm only using the oxide inks because my Distress inks, the pads are dry and need re-inking. And I just haven't got around to doing it. I should do it. I've got the re-inkers. So just going over that there with the ink, and then I'm coming in with the tea dye. I rarely use the tea dye, but you'll notice now the colour of my stamping, the butterfly and the sentiment there. So I'm going to have to do something about the butterfly because it's not going to match the blue now. Alright, so I decided to add some ribbon to this, and so I'm just positioning it on my lined mat there. So I'm going to tape it up so that then I can attach the ribbon to it on the back. That's how it's going to be held. Okay, that's on. Now I'm going to get some more ribbon and try and tie a bow. I end up doing it and then I cut it wonky and anyway, I fixed it. Made it work. Okay. Takes me forever to tie bows. Alright, now this is where I should have changed hands or, yeah, turned it around so I could cut it properly. Anyway, a bit lopsided there, but I do fix it up later. So I'm taking some Elmer's fabric and paper glue to adhere that ribbon just onto the body of the butterfly there, and also to the bow. Yeah, and I like the way that looks. Okay, so now see the difference in the blues there. So I get the antique linen and I go over that die cut butterfly with that ink and tone it down. And that's a bit better. It's not as close a match as I thought it should be, but anyway, it'll do. Now, this was a funny episode. This is another wood-mounted stamp. So I'm using my stamp positioning tool there. And then I ink her all up and ink it, and then lo and behold, yep, shouldn't have taken that wedge away there. But anyway, I lined it up again, and fingers crossed, it worked. Oh, hallelujah, 1 in a million. So that was amazing that worked there. So that was the inside sentiment. Now I'm just going to attach that just with some score tape to the card front. And that's that. And now all I have to do is attach the butterfly. And I use the Elmer's glue again. Of fabric and paper glue, only because it's gluing to the the shiny embossed area. So I thought it needed some bling, so on the butterfly's body I'm just going to put 3 tiny little clear rhinestones just from my stash. And just adding some glossy accents so they don't fall off. And there, it's done. Looks simple enough, but there are a few different processes involved, so there we go. Inking and heat embossing and die cutting and using wood mounted stamps. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon, probably with another Mother's Day card. Bye guys.